Good morning. Happy Saturday to all of you guys. If you're watching, say hi. I love to interact with you. If you have time to come on while I'm live, or if you watch later, leave me a comment. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my best advice for cold and flu remedies. I know no matter who you are, no matter where you go, you're never going to be able to fully protect yourself. But there are some things you can do, and one of the smartest things you can do is just to prepare, right? And I know that everybody's insanely busy and nobody really wants to think about this stuff, but it's kind of like a better safe than sorry thing, right? I used to be that person, never had any kind of cold or sick supplies in my home until it was too late. And, I don't have anyone to help me out. I don't have anybody to bring me a glass of water, let alone go get me tissues and cough medicine. So now I try to stay prepared, and it's a lot less stressful when it does happen. So I wanted to show you some of the things that I use, as some of you might or might not know. And again, if anyone's out there rolling their eyes at whatever I say, I really don't care, because I had to change a lot of my practices when my health was seriously compromised due to autoimmune issues. And it changed my outlook for the better on a lot of things. And so I am speaking from experience. I know a lot of people, like I said, roll their eyes at natural remedies. But when you are an immunocompromised person and you have no other choice, you really are forced to learn a lot. And I'm really grateful for all that I've learned, because the natural remedies that I have been using the last couple of years, in my experience, I wish I would have known about this stuff way sooner, because for me personally, it beats going to the doctor. And I'm in a position now where I can't go to the doctor because due to my financial situation, I've been denied health insurance because of our terrible president. That has directly affected me, leaving me unable to get insurance on my own. I can't pay out of pocket. I can barely afford food, as I keep saying. But I say that to remind people, because there are reasons why I do things, and I want people to know those reasons. So obviously the best thing you can do, obviously wash your hands as much as possible, but stay away from the antibacterial soaps. They are so drying. They have a lot of really crappy chemicals that are just really bad for your skin in them. And if you do get like the dry, cracked hands, that unfortunately leaves more of your body susceptible to other germs and bacteria. So, just use regular soap. Spend a longer time washing your hands. Anyway, it's not gonna be all about washing your hands. But second obvious thing, eat healthier. We all need to eat a lot more vegetables in general, right? And unfortunately, if you live in the Midwest like I do, or in a place where there's snow and there aren't fresh crops growing, a lot of produce costs more and it doesn't seem as fresh, but eat it anyway. If you have to choose between canned, frozen, and fresh, canned is the worst. Frozen is going to be a little bit better. Fresh is obviously the best. And try to mix it up between cooked and raw. Unless, if you have digestive issues, you might not have much choice there. But another thing, probiotics. I feel like I preach this relentlessly on my podcast, which please subscribe on any podcast app, by the way, if you haven't already. But if or when you are ever given antibiotics, they strip your gut of about 50% or more. I've heard some doctors say functional medicine doctors say up to 70% of your gut microbiome. What that means is you have about 8 pounds of good bacteria living in your digestive system. And we need it there to process our food, to help us absorb vitamins, to keep us healthy. It's a huge part of the immune system. And when you take antibiotics, if half or more of that is stripped away from just one dose in your life of antibiotics, it's like chopping your immune system off at the knees. And regular doctors will never tell you this stuff. They will never say, here's your antibiotic. Oh, and be sure to take a high quality probiotic during and for the next 30 days while you take this medicine because it's going to destroy your immune system. No, doctors never tell you that, but I'm telling you that. Functional medicine doctors will tell you that. So if anybody's out there like, whatever, Kelly, you're not a doctor, what do you know? Well, functional medicine doctors will tell you that. That's why I'm always about functional medicine, and because they're going to teach you these things, and I'm going to teach you these things. So also, besides probiotics, I do have a few notes here so I don't forget. Zinc, right? We've all heard that zincs are great for cold and flu. Zinc works in tandem with magnesium and selenium. So if you're not sure about those vitamin levels, if you've got some extra time, it would be great to get those lab tests for yourself. You can do that by going to fitfizstudio.com. Click on the link that says lab tests. And I'm not talking about those lab tests that get sent to your home and you send them out and they mail you the results. No, this is like you sign up, or you basically order lab tests yourself like your doctor would at the same place your doctor would. So don't think, oh, well, I live out in the middle of nowhere, there's probably not an option for me. No, wherever your doctor would send you, that's where you would go. But you order it yourself, you pay for it yourself online. They send you the results directly, and it's probably far, 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 far cheaper than what it would be through your doctor, or sometimes even with health insurance, if you still have to pay for part of it. A lot of the tests are like $12, $18, and you can buy packages to save even more money. They have coupons every week. If you just go to fitfizstudio.com, click on lab testing, you will be directed there. It's pretty easy to figure out. But zinc. So zinc, obviously look up to see, if it has any interactions with any medications that you might be on. But cough drops. So here are natural cough drops. I like to put them in a glass jar. But here's the brand that I have that I like. I keep the little package in there so I remember what it is. This is from Whole Foods. Oh, echinacea and zinc. And it just comes in different flavors. These are great. And they do taste a little bit medicine-y, but you don't want cough drops that taste like sugar. Sugar is not great for your immune system. So, not everything you put in your mouth has to taste like the best candy. If you're doing it for your health, just be an adult and deal with it. So that's what I have to say about that. You can, and like I said in my video yesterday, again, I know a lot of people are like, they bash essential oils, but they have their place. They don't exist for absolutely no reason. No, they're not going to cure cancer, but they have a lot of great properties, which lavender essential oil, which I don't even like the smell of it, but again, I'll use it because it's effective for certain things. It has antibacterial properties. So that's way better than using some antibacterial soap that has a lot of chemicals in it. So just use an essential oil. You can use it for cleaning, and you can do your own research on that. Another thing, just wipe things off, wipe surfaces off. I always clean my phone. Anytime I'm out and about, I wipe off my phone. I come in, wash my hands, wipe my phone. Every single time I walk in the door, I do that. And I think that helps a little bit. I try not to touch my phone when I'm running errands, but now, you go to a lot of stores and they need your rewards code on your phone, or if you pay with your phone, sometimes you have to do that. So if you do have your phone when you're out and about, get into the habit of when you come home, just, walk in the door, wash your hands, clean off your phone. And it becomes pretty quick if you make it a habit. Another thing, and I know this is something else, a lot of people might laugh at it, but these little nasal inhalers are handy. And, not saying they're going to prevent a cold or anything, but they're handy. And this is from Whole Foods. It's a natural one. Olba's natural inhaler. It's not the kind that it's going to feel like it's shooting into your brain, but it's strong enough to where if you're stuffed up, if your nasal passages are dry, you just kind of inhale a little bit on each side. It really does help to open things up because it helps it works with all the mucous membranes in there to kind of give you, at least make you feel a little bit better for the moment. And, you can't overdose on these or anything. And this is kind of funny behind the scenes thing. So when here, let me grab something else. So I have my little process before I go to record a podcast, and part of that is I blow my nose, I use my nasal inhaler, and I use this little like essential oil cream that's it's like minty, and I put it on my temples so I can breathe it and just feel perked up. And that's part of my process, just to feel refreshed, because I get paranoid about when I sniffle on the podcast. So another thing, I know a lot of people, let's talk about exercising if you're sick. So this is a very personal choice. I'm not saying there's a one size fits all solution, but I know a lot of people, and maybe more so me than other people, because a lot of my friends work in the fitness world or compete, but I'm not nearly as big of a fan as trying to push yourself to train as I used to be 10 years ago when you don't feel well. Now, I've heard this rule to go by. When you're feeling sick, if it's from the neck up, it's okay to go work out. It might not be harmful and make you feel worse. But if it's anything from the neck down, like a chest and a cough, don't force yourself to go work out. Don't spread your germs. Don't make it even harder on your immune system. Your body is part of the reason you feel so tired when you're sick is because your body is fighting this internal war with your immune system and working so hard to heal that it's using up your energy. So there's no sense in overdoing it. And obviously water, like all of, that we've known since we were kids. But I don't think you should push, if you're not a competitor and like 4 weeks out from competing and on this rigid schedule and you're going to have to, if you're not an athlete in that sense, I think it's kind of silly to push yourself to go to the gym or work out unless it truly makes you feel better. Sometimes, even when you feel a little bit sick, if you get up and move around a little bit, that can help you, or just to go outside for 5 minutes, get a blast of cold air, that can certainly help you. But don't be crazy about it. There's no reason why you need to go do an hour of cardio if you have a cold. Okay. So, all right. So let's see what else. Oh, I asked, I don't know how the polls pop up. I had the poll if you've ever used a neti pot. I was such a huge fan of these, and I hate that I still have a plastic one because I'm trying to get rid of all my plastics, but this is the one that I have for now. Eventually I will replace it. And I just use these saline packets from CVS. They're super cheap. This is way more than I need in a year, but this is how they come. And if you've never used a neti pot, oh my gosh, you guys, highly, highly recommend it. I've converted about 5 or 6 people who were like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. It's super weird when you use it because you put water in here and you dump a saline packet that helps with the sterility, and you basically pour the water in your nose. It comes out the other side, but you can breathe so much better after you do it. Sometimes you got to do a couple times on each side. And I started it after I had sinus surgery, and I had it for 3 different reasons at the same time. And, so there's a lot of drainage and junk, and this came in handy. But once I used it for that and I saw how great it could be, I was hooked. So every time if I feel excessive dryness, I'll use that. Just stay aware if you do feel excessive dryness, that is making you a little bit more susceptible to germs. But neti pots are so great. I seriously love them. If you've never tried one, I really recommend it. It's like life-changing. Oh, and one thing about the neti pots, if you've never used them, so you'll see the water drain out, but there's usually, I don't know, maybe, I'm guessing a tablespoon or 2 or maybe a little more that kind of gets stuck in there a little bit. So, you got to kind of keep some tissues nearby the first couple minutes after you're done. But I think it's funny. You just get this like squirt of water coming out of your nose, but you'll feel so much better. So another thing, if you happen to see this on my personal page, I made a quick post that I was going to be talking about this, how I avoided, healed, or fixed bronchitis when I've had it twice. So since I've been jobless and going to the doctor is not really an option, had bronchitis a couple times the last couple years. And thank goodness it didn't progress to a point where I had to go to emergency room, because I know it can be really serious. And sometimes it is smartest to go to a doctor. But I am grateful and pretty excited and proud of myself that I was able to fix it on my own. So here's a brand that is natural stuff that I totally, totally recommend. I'm not an affiliate, but in the description, I put my affiliate link where I put some of these things in my Amazon store. I only make like a few pennies if you buy through my link, but every penny counts. So this is something, definitely look at the website for this company. It's called Redd, R-E-D-D, remedies. They have all kinds of natural stuff, gluten-free, stimulant-free, no alcohol, and that stuff is important to a lot of people. I actually got to talk to some representatives at an expo, and they let me try a bunch of their stuff, or they gave me samples. And then when I think it was like a week later, a cold hit me, and I was so glad that I had it. And this is, honestly, this is the best throat and cough syrup that I have ever tried. So it says throat and bronchial syrup. It really, for me, I thought it was very effective. So I highly recommend that. And then on top of that, this is something I had known about for years, but I was one of those people who's like, no, that natural stuff doesn't work. I'm not going to try it. Who knows? It might be dangerous. But here we go. Colloidal silver. And I also used to be one of those people who thought, no, that's going to poison you. It's going to turn you blue. And then once I was forced to try to find natural remedies, this was mentioned, highly recommended, every place I looked. And it turns out that like urban legend of you'll turn blue if you have too much silver in your body, you have to take a lot of it. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was like, I want to say it was like 10 times this entire bottle. So nobody's going to be chugging it. So you don't need to be scared of a few sprays. I think what this one recommends is when you're sick, about 20 sprays twice a day. But just during cold and flu season in general, it tastes like nothing. It tastes like water. You just, about 10 sprays a couple times a day. And I can't remember how much this cost. I got it last year. Whole Foods and Amazon, they have a couple different sizes. So if you carry a bag with you everywhere, you might want to throw that in there. But I highly, highly recommend these two things. I'll turn it the right way. And so the silver does is just very like antibacterial, I don't know if it's antiviral, but if you want to read more about it to see for yourself, just see if it's right for you. It's called colloidal silver. I think it's spelled, let's see if the word colloidal is on here. I think it's just COLLOIDAL, silver. And this one is called Sovereign Silver. Sovereign Silver. So I highly recommend this. Think of this as like your daily ammo. And like I said at the beginning, can't guarantee everything, or you can't guarantee that you can totally avoid germs, because that's nearly impossible. But I wanted to share those. And then I've seen a lot of things about elderberries. I haven't tried them myself. I do believe that they can be effective in some way. I don't think they're just going to take you from having a severe cold and then boom, it's all gone the next day. I don't think they're going to do that, but I think there is some effectiveness there. If I do catch a cold this season, hopefully not, but if I do, I'm probably going to try it. So if you have tried it, I would love to hear what your recommendations are on that. And I'm sure a lot of the elderberry stuff, I would really think about the quality, because I think that's going to make a big difference on if it's effective or not. If you buy some kind of, say this was some kind of like Walmart brand cough syrup that's like 99 cents and it's got a bazillion other ingredients and it's got sugar in it, I don't think that's going to be very effective if it was like elderberry something. So, just I would go for the high quality stuff. I think that's a time where, if you pick and choose your battles. Like, I don't mind buying super cheapo Kleenex until I have a cold. Then I want the extra softness with the puffs, right? So kind of like that. It depends on how much do you want. If you want to try something with elderberries, I would go for whatever seems the most high quality, even if it costs $2 or $3 more. That's my recommendation. So everybody stay healthy and germ-free. Have a great weekend. Bye.